Alright, hello Overswarm and any other viewers. I'm gonna do a little bit of shameless self-promotion for just a moment. This is my kinda obvious surprise for Overswarm. But I just wanted, I was watching all of your games, Overswarm, and I just noticed a whole bunch of little different things that I just hoped I could show you the effectiveness of different things I was telling you. And in your replays, and I just wanted to pick the last really good replay I did. This is against a Terran, Havoc, and this is a guy I played against after during a break of my teaching sprees against the other people I'm teaching to play StarCraft at my college. And I just wanted to do this one to kind of sum up everything I've said, and we're actually gonna take off the fallen camera because even I'm getting dizzy watching myself now that I'm not playing. First thing, using your overlords all the time. Specifically, well, map knowledge, I suppose. Shakura's Plateau, which is the map this is being started on. If you've paid attention to these Team Liquid forums, you already know that you will never, ever spawn in close positions like this. Like, if you spawn here at the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock position, then you're never going to have your opponent spawn here. If you spawn up here where Terran did, your opponent's never going to spawn down here. It's just not going to happen. It's forbidden by the map rules. It's just not happening at all. My Terran build, I will be shameless and admit I stole from Machine. It is a 14 spawning pool, 16 hatchery, 18 extractor. And that is my pretty much standard build order against Terran. There's my spawning pool already. And now we're saving up for the hatchery, and there goes this guy a little bit late. We'll go ahead and start with this. Bam. Alright, bam. There it is. The dangers of fast expanding against a Terran are primarily Hellions. So what I generally do, I don't do it in this specific game because the walk's a little bit too far. At least I think I don't do it in this game. Is I build spine crawlers up here, and then just walk them down here once the creep is spread. And I'll usually get at least 1 queen, sometimes 2. And very early, just put a creep tumor down, and then I can just walk the spine crawlers down and have them burrow there. And I made a mistake, so I had to do the extractor trick so I could get a queen out. I realized I was supply blocked from doing so. And I should be making an overlord. Come on me, make an overlord, make an overlord, make an overlord. Ah, forget you, you're worthless. But, alright, using your overlords as tools rather than floating gas hogs. Overlord 1 scouted the enemy base, discovered he was here. Now watching this ramp to see when he moves out, and army composition as well. This overlord was headed down here. However, I rerouted once I figured out where the other guy was to now cover this area so I would know if I was being bunker rushed. I'm using all of my units, combat and non-combat alike, for just knowing what's going on and increasing my effectiveness, and I've been proxy barracked one too many times. So I'm using this Zergling for personal, intimate space awareness. I want to know what's going on in my base. To go back to the Zerg vs. Zerg replay, I am exercising Yomi. I know that X is a possibility from Terran, in this case a bunker rush, or a proxy barracks in my main. And I'm now executing Y, this botting overlord, this scouting Zergling, to prevent those 2 events from happening. Drone transfers augment income immensely. Now I'm going to kill this Marine because I like my overlords. Thank you very much. Moving on to other little things. My Zergling speed is significantly late. I'll go ahead and admit that. I get sidetracked in a few other things at the moment. Just going on to different things, let's go ahead and cover what Terran is doing at the precise moment. He's doing Terran stuff. He threw me off by not making Hellions, and in fact doesn't do anything tricky at all. He instead goes for a quick 1-1-1 build, but doesn't do anything very tricky with it as fast as he could. Because I do end up scouting everything, he is going to do a relatively fast expand like all Terrans should. However, moving on to my stuff. This Baneling Nest is something I do standard. Every Terran game. Period. Like, since the beginning of... Not the beginning of, but the beginning of retail. I've been doing a Baneling Nest in every game. Like, start the game. Spawning pool. 6 Zerglings, then Baneling Nest. That's pretty much a natural transition. And I still don't have my Zergling speed. And I'm kicking myself right now for this. But Banelings are such an effective unit, and you'll see that later. And here I am ignoring my own advice for a little while. I'm not using my Overlords as efficiently as I should be, nor my Queens. But notice she's not getting very much energy. And in your last replay that I did, which was the Zerg vs. Zerg one, your Queen would already have twice as much energy stored up as this Queen here. Here is a single Spine Crawler. The reason for this is the specific formation of this ramp and natural base. It is very easy for Hellions to go through here or through here, but either way they're going to get banged up by this. And the idea of these 5 Zerglings is one purpose alone, and that's to body block anything that comes up the ramp. And eventually be made into Banelings and then blow them up. Like, if you've been watching the Units tab with me for the moment, you can see more is actually less. Terran only has 2 Marines and a Hellion. I am getting 12 Zerglings right now, and I'm going to make some into Banelings. Because right about now, if a Terran's going to go a heavy army push, it's going to be coming in about the next 30 seconds. But, of course, I don't play with the timer on, and I just don't. If you notice in the minimap, I don't play with the timer on. I just don't believe in doing it myself. If you want to, go for it by all means. I wanted to see this reactor on the factory. I see this and immediately read Banshee. I see this and the Hellion, and I read Hellions. I see this and I read Marauders instead of Marines. But it's all going to come true. And here's the Hydralisk Den to take care of the Banshees. And one of these guys is going to be made into an Overseer before too much longer. And this attack is coming for one reason. Because I just did a scout of his base with an Overlord. Overlord number 2 to be exact. And I saw he had 2 Marines and a Hellion and a whole bunch of tech buildings and stuff he was building on top of that. So I'm going to go crush his skull. And here I am realizing I haven't spread the creep anywhere near enough. So I'm doubling the creep tumors. Just 1 on each side. Just take a look at any replay you have at this moment. Overswarm or any other Zerg. And see if you have this much larva at your natural at 8.5 minutes. If you don't, your queens are not being used optimally. Just take some time to make sure you are using it as frequently as you can. Also, if you watched, I think it was my Zerg vs. Protoss replay for you Overswarm, I went over my hotkey setup. 5 is all hatcheries, here's hotkey 6, and here's hotkey 7. It's just Queen and Hatchery. 6-6 V-click, 7-7 V-click, and we're done. Here's the Overseer for the Cloak, which should be coming. Hydralisks to take care of it. Baneling Bust in progress with Speedlings to run in and go do damage. Everything for me is going along pretty efficiently. Here's the Banshee I predicted with the Cloak I predicted. And I'm off twiddling my thumbs, and here I am actually responding to the threat right now. And there he goes, running away. And shoot, and nothing going on over here quite yet. I'm busy trying to macro everything around. Let's go ahead and look at the worker count real quick, and you can see what this Banshee has done. In addition to my building so many combat units, my worker count is, I'm going to say, abysmal. Just straight up abysmal. There really isn't a whole lot of excuse for having this few, except getting your worker line harassed by a few Banshees. And I really, in most cases, would actually have about this number of combat units around. Like the Hydralisk Den, I probably wouldn't make. I'd have gone something other than Hydralisks. Most likely Aspire. It almost entirely depends on what the other